Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL. Welcome to another episode of AirsoftAL Reviews! Today's review, of course, once again, is a pre-owned review. Big thanks to Wolfman from SAS Airsoft. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, this one is actually one I've been wanting for a while now since I first saw it. And not only that, but it also has a bit of a reputation, thanks to, of course, one Scott Slade Hollenbeck, who did a review on it, and it was a negative review. And a lot of the issues he had could actually have been easily fixed. But yet, did not. So, that said, mine is going to be more overly positive on this product, because I actually legitimately do see value in this, and people have seen value in it. In fact, its popularity has grown thanks to, of course, Callsign Reach, and many others who've actually looked at the product, given it its actual fair shake of a leg, and legitimately have basically said, hey, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you're trying to make it out, Scott. It's really not. It's actually affordable and easy to fix. However, nowadays, the price tag of this sucker has actually gone up a bit. We'll get to that in a second. But the product I'm talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, is one that actually now got an update from, of course, IWA 2024, and we'll get into that in a bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we talk about, of course, the C.S.I. XR5 battle rifle. Type B model, to be exact, which, not the correct but, I know. I just threw that on there because it actually has a joule limit, which is 1.1 joules, with 0.3 something BBs. But let's go ahead and just talk about this a bit right now because, again, just kind of want to talk about it. So, getting this heavy-ass optic off of it, I know it's not heavy, but it's a pretty chunky boy. It actually is, and it does add a little bit of weight to this all-polymer gun. Landed right on my foot. So going over the actual thing itself, this is the Type B model, meaning it's not the full monolithic rail version, which I do have the rail for, to make this into a Type A variant, but I don't have the screws to do that with, sadly. But, again, the price tag of this sucker has sadly gone up from the old days to about $185 on Amazon. On eBay, it's half that almost, but the thing is, though, you also have to wonder about their shipping policy. Now, you can get this on other websites, of course, for about the similar price tag. I'm not going to show images of that, because I'd rather you just go ahead and Google it yourself. I ain't going to do everything for you. What I will say, though, is that this is actually a really cool design. However, it took me a minute to realize exactly what was the design of, because everyone and their mother will look at this and think, oh, they used the Halo assault rifle as a basis, and then just kind of worked from there of, you know, what if it was an unbullpupped rifle? Well, you would be forgiven for thinking that, but for someone like me who has been around since the early days of the Xbox console, I do mean, of course, the Duke controller console, the first Xbox, the black box with the green jewel in the center, and then, of course, been around when the Halos, of course, you know, kind of was a thing. And, of course, one other game that not a lot of people remember, except for I, because I used to play the ever-loving hell out of it on the Xbox 360. And that would be Quake Wars. Now, I know you're scratching your head going like, Quake Wars? Well, yes, Quake Wars, of course, is the full title of it is Enemy Territories Quake Wars. Link in the pinned comment, of course, for a download link, so download the game and for you to give it a try. However, it doesn't have controller support, so go with that at your own risk. But what I'm trying to get to at this point, which you're probably wondering my ramblings, is that the main assault rifle from that game is a bullpup, and one that made me realize they basically took that and unbullpupped it. That's right. This rifle right here, they basically played Quake Wars, looked at that rifle and was like, hey, unbullpup it. And I fucking dare you to tell me it's not. Because seriously, look at this design here, and then look at the design of the main assault rifle of Quake Wars, and tell me they didn't do that! Seriously. Now, of course, my mad ramblings aside, what do you get with the gun itself? Well, again, unlike me, which this is a pre-owned, you do get the main gun itself, which is actually very nice. You do get these wicked iron sights, which are just massive, chunky blade-type sights that I legit actually do kind of like. They are very chunky boys. They are just very chunky. And they are actually designed pretty well to basically make you realize, hey, this is how it's supposed to go, stupid, because they have channels cut into the actual things themselves, so that way you can actually see, hey, this is how this part is supposed to be when on the rails. Aside from the gun itself, you also get this cool 300 round high cap, which sadly is proprietary to the gun itself. However, the big thing is that it legitimately does go in there very nicely, very smoothly, and does just complete this look, and you can actually hold the magazine itself and not feel like you're breaking the conformity of the, well, I've got no other words outside of form. It does have a 6-position stock here, which actually is very nice, although I would love to see a full stock variant, like their own take on a full stock, which you gotta admit would be kind of cool to kind of see, you know, like their own version of full stock, which, again, not bad. However, unlike the norms, the button is not on this side. Instead, they decided to put the button on this side, which I get it. If you're left-handed, if you are right-handed, you can take your offhand and adjust it however you want. If you are, and you can, you know, do like that if you want. Again, same thing with if you're left-handed, you know, you can just, yeah. Outside of that, of course, you do have a QD point here and here on the left and right side. And the QD points I kind of want to talk about because, dear God alive, these QD points. So, I'm going to take a generic QD sling right here, fully, basically full free, spinny, all that good jazz. And I'm just going to try and put it in this thing. So, just so you can see, here we go. I'm just putting it in best as humanly possible. Literally, there we go. And it is in there now, but it is nice and tight. Now, it is free spinning on this side, but like I said, it is tight. And that's, and if you are for that, that's fine. It's just, for me, I am afraid that something is going to break. But the left side, just fine. Left side's fine, not really that tight. You know, it is spinning, but again, right side, pretty tight. Pretty tight. Now, the other thing I want to kind of point out is the fact of, you do find a lot of the cool stuff on here. You do see C.S.I. molded in the plastic. You do see Star XR5 on really only one side, but you do see C.S.I. right there on the right side as well. Now, to get to the hop-up, you're probably asking, where is it? Well, it is right here. Sadly, it does not have any sort of mock charging handle, which I think is actually kind of a good idea in my opinion. And much like a G&G combat machine from back in the day, you just grab this right here. However, it's a little easier than a G&G combat machine, if you know what I mean. And you just flip it over, and right there exposes the, well, hop-up unit, which is your standard basic copy of a G&G hop-up unit, or really any G&G hop-up unit for that matter. And again, that's not too bad, which sadly this one's broken. And again, this one is kind of broketed, if you could see that. So yeah, this one's going to actually get replaced, which actually would be a good thing, considering what is going on with the hop-up unit itself, and kind of brings me into a little something that is an issue, but we'll get to that in a second. The other thing, though, is it does have a very good size basic Picatinny rail here. Your Picatinny rail here is not something you want to put anything on. We'll get to that in a minute. And you got the small bit of pick rail here that sadly will not fit your run cam. I tried several times, and it's just too dang small. You need at least 4 slots to fit a run cam on there, not the 3 it's got. You do have, of course, your polymer rails here and here. And again, it's actually pretty good. Your magazine release is here. It's actually, again, conform to that and just works. And we'll get to the body, to get to the battery, of course, you just push this forward here and you pull that down and boom, there's your very large freaking battery compartment that you can actually fit the Titan Stick 11.1 in there. Yes, the Titan 11.1 stick. That's what I was actually running in this during Sector 9, which we'll get to the gameplay in a sec. It's a little bit of a hassle to actually get it to fit, work. There we go. So yeah, don't put anything there. But finally we get to this, which is a 14mm negative, well, thing. And if you tighten it down just a little bit, you start undoing the barrel, which, yeah, you basically undo the barrel. And I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but I will say that, yeah, it's definitely definitely great to be able to tighten that down all the way. And you do, of course, expose the polymer barrel. Yes, you heard correctly, polymer barrel. It is a either polymer or metal barrel. I'd have to... No, that's a metal barrel. My bad. That is a metal black barrel that you would actually see on the old... If you remember this from back in the day when Walmart had airsoft guns in the sports department, those old Black Ops M4s. Again, if you remember those back in the day. Which I will happily admit, the flash hider itself, I actually do kind of like the design of. It's got that dual port right there, so when you flip it to full auto, you actually do lay rounds down range, and again, it's one of those fun things. Now, this does have a V2 gearbox and basically all V2 components, meaning that you can upgrade this to whatever the hell you want. And it does have a very lovely M4 style fire selector, which actually is a very cool design that I actually do like. And honestly, if they allowed for actual colors to be made on this, I could see this being white. I could see this being like a white right here, this one being like a red, and that one being red. Again, it's one of those fun things of, it's just an interesting design, and I do love it. But now that we've covered all of it from tip to butt, or butt to tip, let's talk about the issues of magazines. I've heard everyone say that this thing will take Stenag mags just fine. I've had a couple work, but when I started really started going for it, I found some issues with it. And sad to say, I think it's the hop-up. How do I know it's the hop-up, you ask? Well, these are the 3 magazines that, well, you're about to see the lips of them. The feed lips. Because if you look at the feed lips there, you can see the impression of the hop-up unit. And sad to say, that's literally me trying to get this thing to work. And, yeah. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. So, yeah, the hop-up unit definitely could use some adjustments, just to say the least. But the one thing I did find was that the GNG 450 actually fed really well with it. Actually worked pretty well with it, simply because of the diameter of the feed of this. And I started realizing something. It's not the fact the magazines wouldn't work with it, it's the fact of the feed area. Because if you compare this magazine to the GNG, you can start to see the diameter of the feed lip actually is about approximately the same size. So it kind of comes down to not just the magazines, but also their feed lips. And the fact of, basically, you're just going to have to change out the hop-up unit. Which that's something I think a lot of people need to kind of be addressed. Everyone says that you cannot work on this thing. Wrong. I was able to basically pull this out. I was only able to change out the motor in this thing to a better motor, a G&G motor. I can't remember the RPMs, but it's pretty high up there, and you'll be able to hear it in the footage here in a bit when we get to it. But I'm saying this right now. The XR5 does legitimately work, can legitimately be upgraded. And yes, even if the price tag is almost close to $200, it legitimately does work and is legitimately a very good designed gun. And they've even announced a lot of new stuff they've got coming down the pipelines.
And for the long replicas, we've got the XR5. The XR5, it comes in different colors with MOSFETs. So also the Ether and the Medusa. It's fully V2 gearbox, so compatible with a lot of products for the upgrade, such as HPA or anything you can think of. There is a special design, but only in high cap mags, but it's compatible with M4 mags, so you can put whatever you want inside. You also have the LED tracer in the hop-up chamber. You've got a lot of space for the battery, very big space, so you can have very big batteries. It's a V2 rotary hop-up chamber, very basic, but you can upgrade it with every part from a V2. So you can also adjust the length of the stock. Pretty much everything is said. You've got rail on top, rail under. There is different end guards. You can have just like on this one. You can have a one-piece end guard with a little Picatinny rail and different stocks too. more for DMR and this kind of things. And at the top you have a 14 negative thread, so you can put any kind of flash hider. Oh no, okay, it's sorry, it's the whole cannon, the whole auto barrel. I've got to take it. Yeah, you have to split it before changing the flash hider. So that's it for the long replica. You've got it in red, white, tan, olive drab green, and black, of course. So you can have a lot of colors to match your different outfits, and maybe do some cosplay because it's quite inspired from video games like Halo, Star Wars, Warhammer 40k, and this kind of things. So you can have what you want.
That was the EWA 2024 footage right there, straight from their representative's mouth, and talking about that. Again, they actually are putting love into this. If they could fix the hop-up issue, which is causing the issues and causing the impressions on my magazines of my Stanags, as well as redesign the magwell to where it can accept, say, oh, I don't know, EPM magazines from PTS, I'd be a happy, happy boy. But we both know that ain't gonna happen anytime soon, although I would be shocked if they actually did see this video and realize, hey, maybe we could fix that issue. But that's what aftermarket parts are for. That's what V2 parts are for. That is what being able to basically turn this into whatever you want is for. And I will assure you that I am going to upgrade this sucker with probably a rotary style hop up and probably just whole brand new gearbox. Maybe I'll probably give this to a friend of mine just to do whatever the hell he wants to it. Basically just turn this as evil as he wants to it. But that's just me personally. But what I will say, though, is that I do love the ergonomic design. This legitimately does have a lot of cool things. And again, it's just a cool, interesting gun. It really is. And it's not that hard to get into to do work on because, again, all of it is compartmentalized. It's basically like a self-explanatory Lego set when it comes to where the screws go and how this thing is supposed to be put together. You realize, oh, these screws keep this top half on. These right here do this, that, all that good jazz. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone and rambled on long enough. Let's get to the combat footage. Here we go. Watch out for Gene. He's very trigger happy. Oh, so I'll stick with Matt. Woo! That was a ricochet right there. It'd be good if I had my run cam going. How you doing over there?
Not good.
Oh, that's good to know. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, let's break off engagement.
Why are you shooting?
Let's break off here and try and get in here. Don't hit my camera. Let's see you on the construction site. Oh. Hey, don't go past the creek! Hey, Mike. We got a guy past the creek over here on the other side. He's two of them.
Hey! Creek is the boundary! Creek is the boundary!
I want to try to push around about this too.
Hey, you see anyone over there? Oh, I can hear them.
You shot me into that damn hole.
Right, I'm gonna go. Ah, hit. Ah, good shot, good shot. Hey Mike, just to clarify, we can cross the road, right? Alright, he didn't hear me. I'm gonna go that way. Did Mike say we could cross the road or no?
I don't think so. How many respawns?
Unlimited.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's it's team deathmatch, basically. Hey Mike, just to clarify, we can cross the road, right, or no?
What?
We can cross the road, right, or no?
What?
We can cross the road or no?
Yeah.
Oh, we can cross it.
Cross and get in.
Oh, sweet, cool. Matt, you hear that? We can cross the road.
We can?
We can.
Yeah, because they're gonna cross.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
Hey, embank, one embank.
Yeah. I got lit up in the face from construction site.
Well,
If I can get the radio to clip on. There we go. You dead yet? Woo! Hello, Gene! Bye, Gene! My bees are just lobbing, that sucks. Got you, Gene. Oh no, that's Gene. You know what? Screw that. You know he won't. Ah, head! Good shot, good shot! Yep, because we can cross the road.
Yeah, across the road?
Yeah, we can. So if you two want to push, go ahead.
It's not the creek, right?
Yeah, just not the creek.
All right.
We got you. Moving. I'm gonna get him with a grenade. You're finally here at the last bit, and you're probably wondering, what are my gripes with the gun? My gripe so far is the fact that it uses a full polymer gearbox. Yes, you heard correctly, full polymer gearbox for an almost $185 to almost $140 something gun. Most guns nowadays within that price range have moved away from polymer gearboxes and have gone to full metal gearboxes. Hell, the JG G3 right here, the G3A3 right here, has a full metal gearbox. While yes, this is legitimately good, I just wish it didn't use a full polymer gearbox. The gears in it are actually metal, it's just the gearbox itself is not. Sad to say. The other thing I wish they would have done is maybe make it to where, you know, you have a better hop-up unit, because sad to say, the hop-up unit in this is just, it needs work. It legitimately needs work. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to say outside of maybe make an indent right here, maybe a press button to be able to push the rail out, so that way, you know, it doesn't free float out, you know, maybe an indent, you know, something to press a button on, put it out, you know, something like that. Maybe, I don't know, just something. Maybe improve this right here so that way maybe, you know, a little bit more rail space so we could put run cams here. I don't know. I'm just trying to find something to improve upon, something that honestly I don't think needs a lot of improvement. It legitimately is a good gun. It's an original. It is basically an unbullpupped inspiration of a QUAKE gun from a childhood game that I actually legitimately love, and I played a lot on Xbox 360, and legitimately am starting to slowly learn on PC. And again, this is just one of those fun little guns that I legit cannot wait to actually work on and improve upon, because I am going to replace the hop-up unit in this sucker. Hop-up unit is getting replaced. That is no ands, no buts, no ifs. That is getting replaced. And again, just I have nothing else to say. Nothing. Not a friggin' thing. Outside of, I wish it was its original price tag from when it was first announced. The price tag was well within the $120-something limit. And if you basically had a pretty huge coupon code, you could pay basically $85-something for it. But, ladies and gentlemen, you're wondering if the XR5 assault rifle, not battle rifle, because a battle rifle is the JGG3 back here. This is an assault rifle, so this takes 5.56 223 magazines. But what does it get on the score? The XR5 Type B gets no more, no less than a 8 out of 10. It's a good buy at the price tag it's at right now. If it was still at its original price tag, without inflation just absolutely butt-fucking it to high hell and back, it would have been a lot higher. it would have been a 9 out of 10. I mean, hell, if it didn't have the issues it had right now, it'd be a 10 out of 10. But because it does have those issues that are plaguing it, and the fact that it does have a plastic gearbox body instead of like a proper metal one, or even, hell, pot metal even would be a better option than what's on there, it would legitimately justify that price tag. I would justify that price tag. But because of those issues it has, I cannot justify you saying, hey, you can drop this kind of money on it right now out of the damn gate. But like I said, there's always a silver lining in this. It has V2 gearbox parts. It has V2 parts, meaning that you can buy this and then parts, and you can upgrade this thing. You can do whatever kind of evil you want to this thing if you want to go that route. I've seen people HPA these things. I have seen people basically make these into absolute marksman type guns, or even absolute LMG beast type guns. You can find videos of some people doing that even. And all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is get one yourself and see what your creativity does for you. That's all I can say. Be it the Type A or the Type B, go nuts. And if there's a chance that a representative from C.S.I. is watching this, I really would love to see more models and more configurations of this in the future. I would love to see like a carbine variant, or maybe an SMG variant, or maybe a marksman or sniper variant. You have a cool body design. You have something awesome here. Please, please do something with it. You have something here, much like M. Night Shyamalan with the Avatar material when he did that movie that did not exist, literally saying to you, literally screaming to you from the heavens, make me incredible! Make me incredible! And I want you to do that. I want you to take this design and I want you to run with it. I want you to make something awesome out of it. Even if it means you have to look at the Quake Wars arsenal to take more inspiration from it. Because again, the fact that you basically took the Quake Wars main assault rifle and unbullpupped it and made something as awesome as this, I want you to succeed, and I want you to make something awesome. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. And I can assure you that next time on AirsoftAL Reviews, we'll be taking a look at something probably a little bit more interesting, probably something that I'm definitely legitimately did not expect to come into my collection. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Tokyo Marui. Pre-owned, yes, but still Tokyo Marui. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you want to help out in the future, links down below to our sponsors, and PayPal and Cash App for you to sponsor reviews, or even sponsor media reviews. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I shall see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later.